Okay, this is the Okamoto 16 by 32 DX, currently wired for 230 volts. We're going to go start it up right now. You got to make sure you have your magnetic chuck on. Okay, that's nice and tight. And we can start our hydraulics. That's this top switch here. And we can start our grinding wheel. That's the next switch. And we can start our table to go back and forth. And we can bring in our saddle. So your controls here control your step amount and your table speed and your function, whether you're doing step or continuous or you want to shut it off altogether. Over here you put in your program, you turn on your chuck. We could stop the table, start the table. Over here is your programming switch. So let's say we want to put in 4 thousandths to remove. I flip my switch over to automatic. Each time my saddle reverses, I'm going to feed down here the amount that I've got set on this switch here, which is 5/10. So we go from 4 thousandths to 3.5 thousandths, and it'll continue like that down to 0, and then do whatever amount of spark outs you can set, which are empty passes back and forth without any down feeding. So now we've gone down to 3 thousandths. Over here on the side of the machine, you've got your 2 dogs that you adjust for your saddle. Up here you have your dogs that you adjust for your table stroke. Now we've come down to 2.5 thousandths. You have the ability to set a fine feed also. I'm just using the coarse feed. I'd probably, if I was grinding, I'd have it more like a 2/10 each down feed. But you could have a coarse down feed like I'm doing now, and then actually have a second one come in when you set the crossover point with the bottom selector here to say 5/10 before I get to final size. I want to start to go down a little bit less. You could do that if you want. So this is just going to continue going down until it gets to 0. Now we've got 1 thousandths left on the part. Well, basically you drive this down to your part, you clean it up, you measure how much you need, you enter that value in your screen here, and you have a little program telling you how much it's going to feed each time, and whether you have a fine feed or not, whether you want 1 spark out pass, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And a spark out pass is all the way across the magnet and back again. And we're going to come down to 0. Now we're at 0. We're going to do a couple of empty passes, and then the machine is going to go to its park position. I have a coolant tank over here on the side, and the grinding wheel is a 14-inch diameter grinding wheel. The hydraulics are built into the base of the machine, and column has a lubricating indicator on the top. There's oil that goes to the top of the machine, works its way down the ways and feeds up through a gravity system. So that's the end of the cycle. The table has come to a park, and now your operator can unload his parts safely and make another program. So next time he'd load his parts again, he'd have to manually, he doesn't store this program, manually come down again and touch off your workpiece, measure how much stock removal you need, and put that value in here. So that's the Okamoto 16 by 32 DX 3-axis automatic surface grinder. Thank you.